Hi there, it's Kristen Cooper, your mortgage gal, jumping on here to give you some information. A big thing that is really a topic of conversation right now is lack of inventory. And the reason that we have lack of inventory in the market is because a lot of sellers don't want to sell today. And the reason that they don't want to sell today is because they have an amazing rate, right? So are you one of those sellers that have thought about, maybe moving into a different area or need a bigger home or just really want to upgrade, but you don't want to get rid of your rate? This is the video for you. Also, please share this. If you know somebody that has also considered maybe wanting to sell and then are thinking maybe waiting, this would be a good video for you to share with them so that they have the right information. Now, it's not every situation that I agree makes sense for somebody to sell and buy. And so I'd love to have a conversation and really just go through what that looks like for each individual. And if it's something that I think that financially does not make sense, then we're going to walk through why it financially does not make sense. But I really want you to dive into the numbers and understand what both sides of the coin look like. It's great that you have that rate, but what does that look like overall in your wealth picture? And so how can you protect your equity? Now, this is just a live scenario that I have, and then I'm going to share it. And then, of course, reach out to me and we can look at yours specifically. You'll notice here that I'm going to go through kind of a high overview summary, but I put down how we come to these numbers here. I'm all about data, stacks, statistics, numbers, and I want you to see how we come to it, because I think we could say, hey, you should sell today, but why? So we're going to dive into that. So let's just say right now, you currently own a home, and let's say that you have a 3.625 rate. Right? And so your payment on that 3.625 when you bought the home, your payment is $2,056. And again, this live scenario, so we're using the numbers here. And let's say that today your value of your home is $500,000. And so if we say that your value is $500,000, and based on your original loan that you got back in 2019, you paid $355. Now you're going to sell it. Your loan balance is $344,000. So what that means today is that you're going to roll over that money. You're going to say, okay, we're going to sell our home today. We're going to take that equity and we're going to go ahead and throw it into another home. Now, I am leaving a little bit of cushion, leaving a little bit of money in your pocket so that you can set up an estate plan and a trust if you haven't, which if you haven't, please reach out to me. I want to get you some information on why it's so important as a homeowner that you protect your assets. And the only way that you could protect your home from what's called probate is by putting it in a trust. And I'd love to share information. Just send me a quick text and email and I could send you some information on that. I don't set them up, but you really need to set it up. So let's assume that you don't have one. We keep a little cash in the bank for you too, so that you can do your move, and we roll over the rest of the money into the new purchase. So if you buy a home today at $650,000 and you invest that money into this new purchase, and let's say in 5 years, that means that your net worth is going to be around $361,000. Now the math is in that you're looking at here is also included in how we get there. But what we're doing is we're saying, okay, if you sell the home today, reinvest most of the money into the new purchase, and then we refinance you into a 4.5, let's just be conservative and say in 2 years, which I think it's going to be sooner, but let's just say 2 years, because you never know. But we're going to refinance you back into, let's say, a 4.5 rate. So today you're getting a 6.5 rate, but in 2 years, we're going to get you into a 4.5 rate. Well, if we look at your actual estimated net worth, which what we're using for this example is going to be based on a standard appreciation of the forecast appreciation for the next 5 years, cumulative is 5.21%. So let's assume that that's what your home's going to be appreciating for. We take that appreciation and how much you paid down your balance, which is your equity. So the difference of what your loan balance is at year 5 and what your new value is at year 5, you're going to have $361,934. Now, let's say that you wait and you say, you know what, Kristen, I'm going to wait until rates drop because I think it's smarter for me to get a lower rate and have a lower payment. Well, if you wait and you buy that same home in 2 years, that home will be worth $726,258. So that home that's $650 today now is going to be worth $726, assuming again 5.21 appreciation, which is what is forecasted by all the economic indicators. And so that home today is going to be worth more in 2 years. So now you have to pay more. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means now you're going to have a higher loan amount because yes, you are going to sell your home for more, but it's not going to be as much that you're going to be able to put down on the new purchase. And at that time, you are going to get a 4.5% rate, but your loan balance is higher because you're paying more for the home. So if you were to wait, as you can see here, your net worth is actually less. So even with you buying a home today at a higher rate for 2 years, versus waiting and buying a home when rates drop, as you can see here, your net worth is going to be impacted. So if you're in a position where you're like, yeah, I'm going to wait until rates drop, but let's say that you're in a position that you can afford a little bit higher payment today, it will end up saving you more money down the road. Now, this is just a 5-year snapshot. If I were to extend it out and do 8 or 10 years, it's even more because the compound effect of it. So it's really important to look at all the numbers and break down all the information, which I broke down in this post for you below, so that you can decide, is it time for you to make a move? And keep in mind, it's going to be a lower payment overall if you purchase today at the lower rate because you're buying at a lower price. So if you buy at a lower price, you're going to have a lower loan amount. Your rate's going to be higher today, but when you go to refinance in the future, let's say in 2 years at 4.5, your loan balance will be much lower than if you were to wait in 2 years and purchase the home. And that's why you have a higher equity, higher net worth than if you were to wait and purchase in the future. The other thing that you want to consider is, what does the market look like when you're in a market with low interest rates versus high interest rates? So things that you want to consider. And I think, again, some people, it's going to mean that you should wait and buy. And so if you can't afford the payment, you can't afford the payment. I understand that. But I want you to be prepared, and I'm going to give you some tips and strategies on how to prepare so that when you are in a position when rates drop, if you have to sell and buy, then what you can do. But first, let's talk about current market. In the current market, when rates are where they are, you have a little bit more flexibility in order to be able to negotiate contracts. They will consider a contingent sell, which means if you sell and buy at the same time, there's an extra added layer of risk for the seller, because now if the buyer on your current home that you're selling backs out, everybody's impacted. So because there's an added additional layer of risk, right now there's still an opportunity that sellers are willing to consider that risk and that they are willing to entertain your offer when you have to sell and buy. When you are in a low interest rate market, all the people that have been waiting to buy, which we have a huge pipeline of people that are waiting to buy when the rates drop because they truly just can't afford this market and can when rates drop, that means that they're now in the market. So all these first-time home buyers, which there's a ton of people that need housing and are first-time home buyers, are now going to be in the market to buy. And guess what? They don't have another home that they need to sell as a contingent. So that means if the seller has 10 offers or even 4 offers, and 2 of those offers are not needing to sell a home and they're offering the same as you are, they're going to go with those offers because they don't have an added layer of risk that that other home is going to impact them. So when you're in a low rate market, and if you were even looking back when COVID and rates were low, they wouldn't even entertain contingent offers. So what we had to do is look for other alternatives, whether you had to qualify for both homes and then you had to sell and then you bought, and then you sold afterwards, which means you had to come up with money for the down payment, or you did what's called bridge financing, which can be many thousands of dollars to do as a cost to be able to not have to count your current home against you purchasing and then, selling it later. Very expensive options, more expensive, way more expensive than being able to sell and buy in today's market if you can. Also, when interest rates are low, not only are they not really considering contingent offers, but they start removing your protections as a buyer, which is called your contingencies, which means that whatever you put in the offer, you say, we want so many days that we can do inspections and we can back out for any reason in the inspections and we get our initial deposit back. When COVID was happening and interest rates were where they were low, buyers were having to remove all of those contingencies. So what that meant is if there was issues with the property, you just accepted it and you moved forward, or you would lose your deposit. It was a super high risk environment for buyers, especially for contingent buyers, because they required an even higher deposit if they even entertained your offer. And now you're in a position to where you could potentially lose that money and not get it back. So as being in this business for over 20 years and seeing all the patterns and seeing what happens in each market, it's my job to properly educate you to make decisions that are going to be smart for you and your family and help prepare you for those outcomes that they could be. So I'm saying if you are in a position where you just can't afford to be able to sell and buy right now, totally get it. One thing that we can consider is I have a lot of people that are wanting to sell and buy right now that don't realize that you can also do debt consolidation, contingent sell and buy. What is that? Well, that means that if you sell your home today, we could take part of the profits to be able to pay off your debts. We can even pay them off through the new purchase so that you can qualify for a higher purchase price and a higher mortgage. But if I'm able to take some of your money and save you $2,000 a month in your current debts, auto loans, student loans, credit cards, personal loans, all of those, that frees up $2,000 more a month that you can afford on your mortgage. And then guess what? When rates do come down, you get to even lower your mortgage, so you're going to have more cash flow. So there are some strategic strategies that we have in place right now that we're helping clients with that are going to be super important for you to consider so that you could save more money over time. Because again, if you do have debt, this is a great opportunity for you to be able to sell, pay off debt, buy a new home, and then still gain all the extra net worth by being able to do that in this market and then refinance and lower your payment in the future. So it's one of the best wealth strategies, utilizing your mortgage as a financial tool to put you in a better position in the long run that we do. And as a certified mortgage planning specialist, that's what I do. I'm a solution finder. So I'm going to find best solutions for you to make you the most money. That you are my reason to be able to look for what are the best options available for you and your family. Now, let's say that you say, you know what, I just can't do it. I can't sell and buy today. Can't afford it. Here are my top tips for you to be able to start positioning yourself today if your intention is to sell in the future. One, make sure that your credit is in the best position possible. What does that mean? Make sure that you're pulling a free credit report. So go to freecreditreport.com. You get to pull all your 3 credit bureaus. What I would say is just maybe pull one every 3 months. So pull Equifax, then TransUnion, and then Experian, so that you could see what's going on with your credit. I can't tell you how many times I have clients come to me and we go to pull credit, they're ready to go. And now all of a sudden they had a collection they didn't know about. I just had one that had a Comcast collection. I mean, we're talking under $100 that's now impacting their credit score. And it takes time to resolve these issues, and it impacts your financing when you're ready. So do yourself a service and go in and just put it on your calendar as a recurring task, maybe 3 times a year, that you go in and pull a report, because you get to pull all 3 1 times a year for free. You could pay and upgrade and get your credit score, but really you want to monitor your credit. So monitor your credit. Don't open a lot of accounts. Don't close a lot of accounts. A lot of people think, oh, I have 4 credit cards, I'm going to close them. No, don't close them, because now you're eliminating history, which is one of the biggest impacts to your credit. If you need more help with your credit, let me know. I'm happy to send you free access to my video course that explains what to do with credit so that we can help prepare you. Second is sit down and really budget. Sit down and set up a budget. Find out what you can, what your current finances are, what your outgoing expenses are, what your incoming, what can you get rid of. Start paying off massively debts that you can. And that's going to be by reorganizing your finances and getting rid of things that you don't need. It's going to suck for a minute. There's no way to sugarcoat it. When you're having to tighten your budget and pay off things, it doesn't feel good. You feel restricted, but the outcome that you're going to get later is going to be far more superior than what you're going to have to deal with today. So find out what can you eliminate, and then take that money and retackle it and throw it towards all of your expenses and your debts to get those paid off as quick as possible. So you're going to set up a budget, you're going to pay off debt, and then you're going to save as much money as you can, so that you are starting to put yourself in a better position, have a good cushion, setting up an estate plan. If you currently own a home or have large assets that are not with the beneficiary or FDIC insured, you'd want to reach out to an estate attorney, set up an estate plan. Again, I have a contact I can send you. You want to work on all of those things right now. If you currently own a home and you're wanting to sell, you need to get your house in order. So pay that little bit of money to have a pest company come out. And a lot of times you get a free inspection if you set up with pest companies. And I'm happy to give you a referral to a great pest company if you need one, but reach out to a pest company, have them come do a review of your house now so that you could stop maybe any issues that might be coming up, fix anything that might be wrong, and you have time to be able to do it along the way. And then just upgrade the little things around your house that need to be fixed. You can reach out to your real estate agent, or I can connect you with a great real estate agent to start that pre-planning process now and do a free inspection for you, walk you through and say, here's where you're going to get the most money on your return when you're ready to buy, and really positioning you. You have the time now. If you're not ready or in a position to sell or buy, let's get you ready. Let's get you in the best position, because when the market does shift, and I do believe that when rates start to come down, it's probably going to be a really quick timeline that it's going to happen. And then you're going to be like, I thought I would have more time. It's probably not going to be a gradual thing because of what the Fed's been doing and being super aggressive. So you need to take the time now to do all of these things so that you're in a great position. So take the time. If you need help setting up a budget, I have a financial course that I can give you free access to. I'm happy to help. I'd love to connect you with a great real estate agent if you don't have one, to be able to do pre-planning selling with you so that when you are ready to sell in the future, you have your checklist. If you need to meet with a pest company, reach out to me. I can give you a contact. These are the things that you can be proactive on so that you can protect your equity, which is my ultimate goal. What can you do to protect your equity? And you want to make sure all those things happen so that you have the best score to get the best program. Your house is in the best position so that it can get sold quickly at a great amount. Those are things that you can do to protect yourself, because again, buying in a market when interest rates are low is not easy. It's definitely going to take pre-planning so that you're in a great position to be able to A, sell your home and buy at the same time if you have to, B, get the best options, and C, have the best offer. So when you're putting in offers, that you're getting your offer looked at and that it's being entertained over other offers. So again, I'm here to help support you. And if you know anybody that is looking to buy, sell, or needs to maybe take some cash from their home to consolidate debt or do renovations, please let me know. Again, as a broker, I shop over 80 different lenders. I have access to all the programs, and there's no additional cost to you to be able to do that. So I look forward to being a resource for you. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anybody that I can help, and I hope you have a wonderful day.